So I published a podcast episode recently which goes more deeply into creating a sense of deep support within your relationship. So I believe it's episode 113. And so definitely head over and listen to that if you are interested in learning how to feel more supported in your relationship and by your relationship. I had a huge transformation from my first birth of my son to my recent birth with my daughter. The journey in between that led from like that first birth of experiencing incredible trauma and disconnection and resentment and feeling so unsupported in my process. What I realized, it wasn't just feeling unsupported in my relationship, I was feeling unsupported in myself, and by life itself. So what I did from like in between those two births is I went on a massive journey of healing that trauma, of becoming aware of what was really going on, because what I found was that feeling and that belief of that I'm not supported and that experience of not being supported actually stemmed many years. It actually is something that came from childhood and infancy and continued to show up in my life. And I kept having this story and this repetitive thought cycle of I'm not supported, he's not showing up for me, like the universe doesn't have my back, like all of these experiences and thoughts and ideas playing again and again and again. And so from that first birth, I really started to do some really deep work that allowed me to shift this experience. And so with my recent birth, I felt a tremendous amount of support within myself, from my partner, from my birth team, from my mother, from the universe, from life. Like it was just incredible the amount of support that I had as I moved through quite an intense portal and intense experience on a physical level, on an energetic level, on a mental level, an emotional level. It was huge. And I really feel like by having that foundation of support, this birth was magical. It was excruciating, but it was magical, and I received so much from it. There's so many learnings that I'm receiving, so many insights, so much transformation that is still happening. It was so magical, and it's even throughout the entire pregnancy, it was a very different experience. And I felt that expansion of my awareness, because when we feel safe within ourselves, we are more able to open up and receive. If we don't have that foundation of safety, feeling supported, feeling that inner security, we are living in survival. So we tend to find ourselves in fight, flight, freeze, fawn, people pleasing, and we tend to get stuck there, kind of running around in a loop, getting triggered, overwhelmed, anxious, like almost as if we've got something like that, some sort of like on high alert. We're hyper vigilant and high alert, like looking for the next threat. When's the next thing gonna happen? When's the shoe gonna drop? Like we just can't relax, and there's so much tension in our body, and there's so much disconnection. We're so disconnected from our bodies because we don't feel safe to be here, and we don't feel safe to be in our relationship, and we're just constantly waiting for the next trigger or the next thing to happen, and like almost on the edge of our seat, waiting to pounce or waiting to flee. So this creates a lot of chaos, a lot of disharmony, and really holds us back from having the relationship we deeply desire, that deep connection, that great love, that exquisite intimacy. It's really holding us back from thriving in this area of life, and really in all areas of life. And so we really need to be doing that deep internal work, the shadow work, meeting these deep parts of ourselves with love, with compassion, with acceptance, and supporting these parts through the integration journey. Integrate literally means to become whole. We are going into the shadowlands. We are meeting these different parts that have been buried and suppressed, these experiences that are unresolved, and we're supporting that integration, which allows you to create that inner safety, that inner security, and feel deeply supported. In order to go on that journey, though, it can be quite, and often is, quite overwhelming and confronting, especially to do it alone, and that's why we seek support. Again, there's that word support. So we want to find someone that we trust, that we feel safe with, that we know can hold us through that journey. So maybe you find a coach or a mentor that you really resonate, that you feel safe with. Often we resonate because we hear their story, we hear their experiences, we hear the journey that they went through, and we hear how they came out the other side. And there's this feeling of like, they get me, they understand what I'm going through, they can help me. And that's the importance of sharing our story as well, so that we can really show others that it is truly possible. And this is what I do for my clients, for my students, is I hold that container for them. I support them through that journey of integration, of coming back to wholeness, of creating that inner security, that inner safety, building the foundations of your relationship to self. Can I feel supported within myself? Can I feel supported by life? Can I then take that foundation of safety and support into my relationship and start to do the work within that relationship so that I can feel supported and they can feel supported? Because it's not just about me getting my needs met. It's not just about me feeling safe and supported. It's about them too. This is a partnership. This is about coming together and supporting one another through that journey. So if this is something that's resonating for you, if you are maybe resonating with feeling unsupported, or maybe you're desiring to create a deeper sense of support, you're desiring more connection, love, and intimacy in your life, in your relationship within yourself, I recommend you to reach out. I have some different options for working together. I do offer one-on-one work, couples coaching, and I also have an amazing program starting next week, which is the Deeply Connected Couples Program. So that might be something that you're interested in. I'm going to pop all the information in this post. You can always send me a direct message if you have questions, or if you can't find a link or something, if you're interested in jumping in this space together. I also offer complimentary discovery calls if you're like, I'm not sure which option is best for me and you want to explore that together. Feel free to reach out and let's jump on a call and make sure that you're getting into the right container for you, and which is going to be in alignment with what you're wanting to maybe move through, overcome, heal, or what you desire to receive. So we can really have that conversation and get to what's going to be best for you. All right, thank you so much for being here. Sending you so much love.